Hi, welcome again to Culinary Capers. I'm David Lee, and I'm standing next to my own personal banker, our banker here at Shell Point, Anna. Anna, first of all, I want to thank you for all you do for Shell Point residents like me.
Thank you, David.
Margie and I really appreciate all that you do for us.
It's my pleasure. It truly is. Thank you.
And you're going to help us with another cooking show, right?
We are. We are so excited to be back again, and this time we have something so special for you. Our executive chef, Jill Lane, from our Riverwalk corporate office is here with her sous chef, Kyle, and they're going to show us how to make a fabulous dessert, and I'm going to let Jill share that recipe with you now.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be making an espresso creme brulee made with duck eggs. The eggs are local, the coffee was roasted local. We're thrilled to death to share this one with you guys. So this recipe, the day before I want to actually create it, I start with mixing up my half and half and espresso coffee. So
And you've got some really wonderful coffee from a new coffee roaster, right?
So this is my friend Brian Abernathy and Grumpy Goat Coffee. I love it. I think I'm a huge coffee drinker, couldn't live without it, and I just, especially the Ethiopian dark, I'm crazy about it. So we start with that. I infuse my milk with his coffees here. So
And you do it overnight.
I do it overnight and make sure it's nice and coffeed up. So I'm just gonna take this. You see how it's layered, the grounds have settled in. I'm just gonna give it a nice little shake and roll that around in there. And make sure it's all stirred up again. And then I'm gonna strain it. So I just wanna make sure that it all comes out. Right now in its purest form, it's just full of coffee grounds. And so I've got this cheesecloth over here. We're gonna give it a nice little strain in here. And get all those grounds out. Thank you. Yeah.
You always need a third hand with cheesecloth, right?
At least. Cheesecloth is not as much fun as the brochure promised, I can tell you that. So, and that's what you land with, and that's okay, leave that in the bottom of your cup. So I'm just gonna take this cheesecloth, pull it right up like so, and then it strains out. And then you've got just your pure milk, give that a nice little squeeze.
Ooh.
And then you can throw this away. It's not good for your garden, it's not good for compost, it's got too much milk fat in it. And rinse my hands again real quick, give them a nice little wash, and then we're gonna work it from there. At this point, I'm going to add this to my half and half, and we're going to heat it up.
And let me remind folks that the recipes, Fine Mark's going to provide them to us, and we'll get them online for you.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give this back to Kyle. He's going to put it on the stovetop. It's not going to come to a boil. You do want to watch it. It will boil up. You want a nice heat on it, just almost a simmer, and that's it. Enough to do its magic when it comes to the creme brulee. There's that.
And Kyle's our wonderful sous chef, came along with from Fine Mark Bank. This is wonderful to have all this extra help in the kitchen.
Oh, I couldn't do it without him. Thankfully, he's here. So the next thing we do is we've got, I decided to add duck eggs to this because I love the duck eggs. They're local. You can find them at several of our local farms. These I happen to have gotten at Circle C, and they're beautiful, especially in baking. They make the most...
Really?
Oh, they make everything very rich, a little more luxurious. You notice it when you bake with the duck eggs. So I tried this recipe several different ways. I tried it with all duck eggs. It's a little much and very expensive. These, duck eggs are lovely. They're not exactly cheap. They're not chicken eggs. So over here I've started with 8 chicken eggs that I've separated the yolks from the whites. And I've just got 2 left here. I'm gonna do the last 2 of my 8, and we're gonna give a quick little separation, break that right in half and kind of let the whites run off. If you have a good thing to do with your whites, hang on to them. If you don't, that's fine too. You wanna make meringue. Sometimes people, they've got dogs that love them. It's good for their coats, all that good stuff. I buy organic eggs. I buy them locally grown whenever possible. And there you go. 1 more of those. I don't like that big string thing. So there's that. We're going to do 1 more.
Those are duck?
These are the chicken eggs.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Shells were really tough.
So boom, boom. Let that white go right in there.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah. And then you've got your nice little yolk.
You make meringue with the duck white eggs, white too?
I have not, but I
Okay.
don't know why you couldn't.
Okay.
I don't know why you couldn't. Now, you're going to notice your duck eggs are much larger. The yolks are much deeper in color and flavor. So I've made deviled duck eggs with a curry. I love them. I think they're wonderful. Now the duck eggs, I'm going to put the whole thing in. I'm not going to separate them from the white. I like the
Oh.
whole egg. So, oh, see, it's just giving me a little, I don't want to break it. And there's that, boom. And you can see, let me show you that, how much larger that yolk is than the rest of the eggs. It's right there in the center. It's kind of funny. It just floats right in there, and there
Yep.
it is. The local farms, know your farmers.
Yeah.
Understand who they are, understand where they are. Don't be afraid if you're at a farmer's market to ask the hard questions. Where do you grow? How do you grow?
And I've asked Jill if sometime we could do a road trip with Dan and you show us a couple of your places.
Oh, we'd love
Yeah,
that.
That'd be fun to do.
I've got a couple really good ones too. I've got some good friends I've been
Dan,
introduced
I
to.
can see a road trip coming on.
So to this, I'm just going to add my sugar. I've got 1 cup in there, and it's going to just blend up beautifully. And let that go for just a moment.
So if I'm doing this by myself, I would really get this batter beaten up and then I'd heat my milk.
You can do it at the same time if you're really
Be
quick
careful.
and talented and paying a lot of attention, but I like to do it separately.
I would mess it up.
Too many times I've let that milk go over, and it almost inevitably does when I'm doing it at the same time. So as I'm blending this together, my sugar's sort of dissolving in here, and it's kind of incorporating
Yeah.
a lot of air, making it nice and light. If you haven't made creme brulee, if you're a little intimidated by creme brulee, you shouldn't be. Creme brulee, in actuality, is one of the easiest desserts to make, I think.
Well, we have our friends here at the Armstrong house, and I don't know how much I'm going to share with them because creme brulee is my favorite.
Well, lucky for you, this recipe makes about 15 ramekins full. So, and because this is steaming, we're
Yeah.
just going to touch a little bit at a time in here. All right.
And
Let
I had a
that-
hard time learning to go slow with this because
Yeah.
you don't want to
Well,
cook
yeah.
the eggs.
You don't want to cook the eggs, and if you don't turn your spinner down, you're going to end up wearing this, and that's no fun
Well,
for
we had these
anybody
wonderful
either.
Fine Mark Bank aprons on today, so
Don't we look sassy?
so we're probably just about getting to the point where we can put more in, right?
Yep, I think we are. So my bowl is just slightly warm. My eggs are warmed up slightly, but
Yeah.
they're not cooking. So at this point, we're just gonna pop this right in a little bit quicker. Get this show on the road. All right. Thank you, sir. Drop that in. Give it a little more of a spin.
Wow.
There it is.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Now at this point, you fill your ramekins, or I've even been at restaurants where they pour them into little coffee cups because you do a fairly lightly warmed oven. It's not a 400 degree. I think I've got 300 on here. So as long as your ceramic will take it, you can put it in just about anything.
Okay.
About 3/4 of the way full, and then we put it in a pan with a water bath, so the water comes halfway up the side of the ramekins, and bake it off until it just almost jiggles. I pull it out and give it a little shake, and when it you
Yeah.
want a little movement, because as you pull that out and set it in the refrigerator, it's going to set and turn into the custard that you want it to.
I've kind of found out that I got to pull it out when I think it's not quite ready to come out. That's when you pull it out.
That's when you want it to come
Yeah,
out,
'cause
right?
it'll still cook.
Because there's nothing worse than an
Yeah.
overcooked creme brulee. It
Right.
curdles. It's no fun. I'm going to pull one of these out that I've got in the fridge, and we're going to.
Through the magic of Fine Mark Bank, we have 15 done.
How did that happen?
Since we're at the Armstrong's house in the estuary, we have some friends ready for dessert.
So, and this is right out of the oven. This is what we're looking at. You see, it's set. It's not going to flop out of there. It's been in there for several hours. I made this morning.
And these will keep in the fridge for a couple days, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, if you can not eat them for that long, if you can control yourself. So on top of this, I'm going to do just a little shake of sugar. You can use brown sugar. You can use, this is a cane sugar I'm using. So I've got it in there. Just kind of tap it around so it touches everything, just like so. Okay. I'm gonna put this down.
Now, we get,
It's time to torch. We get to play with fire. And I highly recommend you go someplace like Williams-Sonoma and buy a very civilized flamethrower. This is a little contrary and belligerent, and we're just gonna go for it.
and I'll tell you, I'm a little frugal, so I went to Home Depot and went to the plumbing section.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's that. I'm gonna hold this up. So as you do that, your sugar's gonna roast. You wanna move that flame constantly.
Don't stop it, right?
Don't stop, don't let go.
Here we go.
It will burn. You want a nice crust on there. Woo! You get that little singe smell. It's wonderful. A little bit black on the top of it, and now that's gonna. Right now, it's a soft candy shell, and in a few moments, it's gonna be hard, and you're gonna crack that open, and that's what everybody seems to really love about the creme brulee,
That's
isn't
the
it?
secret to creme brulee, is to have the nice crack on top.
It's a good creme
But then
brulee.
coolness on the bottom, right?
Indeed. So, and there's that. It is just that simple. Eat your lovely fresh carambola soup and then come tear that up. This is
Well,
the best.
I'm not going to share this one,
You don't have to.
but I want to thank Fine Mark Bank again for sharing you with us, and Kyle too. Thank you, Kyle, for being part of this. And thanks to Fine Mark Bank for everything you do for us. And I'm going to eat this in just a minute, or I'm going to share it with Dan. So thanks for looking today. Bye for now.
Thank you.